Hi you guys, welcome back to this channel. If this is your first time being here, my name is Tonii. This is Business Life with Tonii. I talk about my journey, my experience with my startup of a home care agency. I have tried to start up a group home agency. So I've been in the medical field for over 17 years, have lots of experience, have dealt with a lot of people, lots of agencies. I did not like the way that clients or caregivers were being treated in nursing homes and private home care. So I decided to create my own agency. I also needed kind of that free range because I was a single parent of 2 kids and it wasn't easy. I didn't have support, I didn't have daycare, I didn't have anybody who could pick the kids up until I get off of work and things like that. So I decided to have my own agency and have people work for me while I do the administrative work at home. So if any of that interests you, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel. I always love to see engagement, so if you like the video, please like it. If you appreciate the video, like it. You can leave a comment in the comment section. If you have a question, you can leave your question in the comment section and I will create a dedicated video to answer your question, or I will just answer it in the comment section. So today I kind of wanted to talk about choosing your agency name, choosing a name for you, how to go about doing so. I talked a little bit about this briefly in another video, but it wasn't the topic, so I didn't touch on it much. But a lot of people feel like the name has to resonate with them. It has to be something special. It has to be very meaningful. It has to be something that is deeply rooted in them. Like it has to be made up of something of them, their characteristics, their name, something like that. And some people just don't care. So for myself, initially it was a generous journey. And that's the name that I wanted for my group home. The reason that I chose that name is because I just saw like a road to a generous journey. That's how I felt. I felt like this would be a road to a generous journey. Like I feel like I can provide a good quality of life for the seniors. And to me, that was the perfect name. So I will say some of the things that I ran into, I did not Google check that name. That means just going in on Google and putting a generous journey and seeing what pops up. There were a church, there were a few things that popped up. It was a church, like a non-profit organization, like a travel service, that I didn't think about that. So those are some things that popped up on Google. So because I hadn't been online yet or social media or anything, there's nothing that's really out there. There wasn't a website, there was no blog, there was nothing. So other things would show up before my agency showed up. My agency would not show up at all unless I typed in the full name, which, that's something that you want to think about, because somebody might remember like it was a generous something, I can't remember. So they'll type in a generous on Google, but it won't show up. They would have to type in the full name. Otherwise, other agencies and organizations are showing up before your agency shows up. So what you can do actually to fix that is put some work in. So create your website, have a blog, continue to post and post and post until you start to see it rise. And then once you see it rise, you can go steadily, like posting once a week, posting, twice a week, or however you feel, like build it up a little bit, and then you could get to like once a month. But there's a way to fix it. So just continuing to post as much as you can. With my home care agency, it is named after me. I am named after my aunt. So I also live in Aurora, which happens to be my middle name as well. So the town I live in is my middle name. There's a couple of things that's good for, because a lot of times if you live in Fox Valley is near me. So I would see Fox Valley Dental, I would see Fox Valley Healthcare, I would see Fox Valley Medical, whatever, Fox Valley everything, because that's the area that you're in. So I thought that was pretty cute. I thought it was easy to remember. I did feel like I don't want people to think that we only service Aurora. So that was one thought, but I got calls from everywhere. I made sure initially I post everything saying like, Kane County, which is in Aurora, DuPage County, Cook County, whatever the surrounding counties are, and the counties that I service. Initially, I made sure I posted that as well, so that if they're inquiring like, oh, maybe they only service Aurora, you wouldn't have that question because you would then see the counties that I service. So that's one way to get around that, but I don't know if it's likely that anyone else would be in that situation. But for me, when I chose that name, like initially I didn't care. I was like, I need to hurry up and do something. I need to get my LLC. That's gonna take a couple days. I need to get my EIN. I know I can get that as soon as possible. But then now my ultimate goal this week, I want to get my business bank account. I need both of those things. I need this process to hurry up. But then I came up with the name and I felt so complete. It just felt right. It felt like that was the right name for my agency. It's so cute. The abbreviation, I love it. I love everything about it. For those of you who could be more flexible, or for those of you who felt like me in the beginning, I felt like I don't care what the name is, I would say, well, I'm gonna cover this first and then I'll get to the point, but choosing a name, making sure that you can tell or you can identify what that name is. So what do? Are you a babysitting agency? Do you sell shoes? Do you sell coats? Is it a service? Is it products? So if this is home care, you probably want to do like in-home care, in-service care, senior care, elder care, home care, something within those lines. Those are also the tags that you want to use on Google. Having like a home care name with that in it. Some people choose to go like a religious route. You might say angels, you might say Moses, or something like that. Same kind of thing with daycare agencies. You'll see them refer to names like Little Steppers or Little Stars or something like that. So some people go that route. Some people choose to stay away from that because it could be controversial, or it could be like, oh, we don't believe in angels, or something like that. So just kind of deciding what's comfortable for you, but definitely be you. I would say don't base your name or not choose a name based on what you think others' reactions is going to be, because if that's you, you can't fake it. People see through you. If you chose that name and you feel comfortable about that name, go with that name. The only thing that I will say is make sure by your name that people can distinguish what field you're in. So the other thing I will say, with my name being Aurora, starting with an A, I have seen this and seen this and seen this, but it wasn't until today I was like, let me tell my people. So a lot of people have things in order, names in order. Most things are in lexicographical order. So A, B, C, D, from A to Z. And I saw this many, many times, and I'm like, I was thinking to myself, this is great. This is brilliant. Like, I'm at the top of the list. My name is the first name there. So today, I'm going to be helping my cousin with home care. I was going to take on my cousin as a client. However, he receives benefits and I can't receive the payment for those benefits. I have to have had my agency for 5 years and I'm not there yet. So I would have to work for another agency in order to help him, which I'm going to do that because he needs help and he's very particular about who is in his home, who is around him. He really needs the help. So I'm going to do that. So I had to wait to receive a list from the aging department of the agencies that they work with, the provider list. So when I got the provider list, some more tips, I started at the top. I didn't go to the middle. I didn't start from the bottom. I started at the top. So that's another thing to keep in mind. People are going to start, if they have a list, they're going to start at the top of the list. It's just naturally what people do. And it's easy to keep track of that. Oh, I called 3 people, so let me go 3 people down. So I left off here, let me finish, Another thing, people get tired. I got tired after the 3rd call, and the first one sounded good. So basically I was calling them to try to see how much each one of them pay, what the benefits are, if they get paid weekly, bi-weekly, if they have direct deposit, can I split the payments up? I called for everything. So I started with the first one. The first one started with an A. A lot of them were like affordable home care, A through Z home care. One of them was an actual name, Addis Home Care. So, it just went in that order. So I'm imagining when I'm on that list, I'm going to be one that's right up there at the top. So if you don't care, or if you could be a little bit more flexible, I will say to try to come up with a name that starts with an A so you can be right at the top of that list. A plus home care. If you look it up and somebody has that name or something similar to it, then change it around a little bit. A plus in-home service, in-home services. Let me look up some names with y'all. So some of the names that I see just by Googling, I have a little tool that I use on Google, but I looked up here because it doesn't give you exactly what you see on Google or what other people just think of. It's kind of outside of the box. So it's like AI. I talked to you guys about AI. I use AI. You could use ChatGPT. You could use Snapchat. There's lots of them. Facebook has one now. So assured home care, assured senior care, assured in-home services, aging gracefully home care, aging gracefully in-home service care. I keep getting tongue-tied with the in-home service care, and that's the name of my business agency. Advantage home care services, Advantage in-home care services, Advantage senior care, affectionate, allied, aspire, Amity, or Amity, AMITY, abundant home care services, abundant senior care services, attentive assistance at home. You can just really play with these and interchange them to senior care, in-home service care, in-home care, elder care, anything else you can think of. If your name starts with an A, like me, obviously, Ashley's Home Care, Ashley's in-home service center, something of the sort. Care services, so like Anchor Care Services. A little bonus off, not kind of what I wanted to touch on, but when you're choosing a business name, think of abbreviations that you could use. Think about when you're creating your email address. You don't want something that's super long. People will forget. They will not want to type it in, especially if you're just starting out. Google is not, like I said, going to bring that up. They're going to have to type in the full thing if they're looking up your website, if they're putting in your email address. You know, it's not something that's just going to pop up unless they've already had connections with you. Then it will pop up and they wouldn't have to type in the entire thing. But looking, you know, at your website, you generally want to have all of these things the same thing. So if you have ABC Home Care, you want abchomecare.com. ABC or info@abchomecare.com. You want it to correlate. That's going to be your domain. So when you choose a domain, you want it to be the same as your business name. So kind of look up all of those things as well before you even choose a name to make sure that they're not taken. If you want to have a separate email account, like a Google for other things, you know, make sure it's not taken on Google. If you want to use Yahoo, make sure it's not taken on Yahoo. A place where I got my domain was GoDaddy. So I'm trying to think, there's another place I used. I can't think of what it's called, but GoDaddy is generally like my go-to. So you could check there. It'll let you know how much it is, if it's taken, things like that. But you definitely want to be able to, you know, if it's long, make sure you can abbreviate it. Mine is AIHC. I don't put the S at the end. So in my policies and things like that, I let them know my business will also be referred to as AIHC. Even my email address, contact us at Aurora IHC. So I don't say it that often. I type it out a lot, but I don't say it that often. But yeah, so just be thinking of those different types of things. You want to make sure that it's nobody else's name, that it's not trademarked or anything like that. And when you go to your Secretary of State, and you could just go there and search for a name. So if I wanted my agency to be called Affordable Home Care Agency, I will type that in the Secretary of State under search for business. If that pops up, it's not available. If it doesn't pop up, it means it's available. You could take it a step further. I know I told y'all before, there's a website that gets really in depth with all those things. I want to say it's the trademark website. Again, if I find it, I'll put it in the description box below. If not, you guys continue to look, because there is a website that you can look that goes a little bit more in depth, and it will let you know. It shows you other names as well. So if something sounds like yours, you can switch it up. There was a lot that sounded like mine, again, because it's the name of my town, my city. So there were other agencies that has a similar name. I didn't care. I still wanted to go with mine, and I don't even see theirs now. So That worked out for me. But definitely make sure it's not like trademark. Make sure it's not culturally sensitive. Make sure it's not controversial. Think about how it would look on your apparel. So for me, I have a sweatshirt, I have a t-shirt, I have a long sleeve, short sleeve, polo, I have a blazer, I have a hat. I have all of these things with my agency name on it. So does it look good on there? You know, does it look good on your logo? Is your logo going to be super long because your name is super long? So be thinking about those things as well. Your marketing material, your brand awareness. You go places and your name is on the list. Do you have this super long name and they have to have extra paper to put your name on there? I'm kidding. But, you know, be thinking about those things as well. There's not much I could really think of. I do take people through this process of choosing an agency name, but that is something that I just decided to start letting people know. If you can, or if you're flexible, choose something that starts with an A. I say get your thesaurus out, get your dictionary out, get your Google on, and just start thinking of different things. Advocacy is a good word. You know, applied advocacy, assured advocacy. I don't know, just play around with it. And let me know if you have any questions or if you want to know what I think. And definitely if you already have a name and you kind of want to rebrand and choose something different, you can do that as well. So some people might say, oh, but I already have my email address. It already is this. Well, the good thing about it is you can redirect your email address. So it's not something that's permanent. So when they type in the old email address and they type in the new email address, it will send them to the same place. The website. So some people might say, I already have my website and the domain is already set. So once you decide that you want to change it, you definitely can have a redirection. So when they type in the old web address and the new web address, it will take them to the same exact place. And then over time, once you see that, you know, because I don't know if you pay monthly or something like that. I haven't done it, but I have seen it. So after a while and you feel like, okay, people know now that this is my website, I've got all my marketing material up to date and things like that, you know, then you can remove it. But if you have a bunch of marketing material and it still has that old email address or something like that, keep it, don't waste your money. But I would say have a redirection so that even if you're passing out those old marketing materials and it has that old web address, but now you rebrand it and you have something new, just have it to where both web addresses can be typed in and it will send them to the same place. They'll get there. So I guess that's all I have to say about creating your business name. I hope that was helpful to somebody. Lots of information, but very good tips, because when I started, I had no idea what to do. It made me feel like I didn't care. But now I know I did care. Now I'm happy that I took the time out, and I'm happy that I found something that I actually like, because I'm wearing it. I'm seeing it every day. I have to say it when I call places, and I absolutely love it. So, hi you guys. So, coming back to say something. I thought of something and I was like, I don't mind. I could just, you know, I can just come back and say what I have to say real quick instead of making another video or leaving it out. But also, if you choose a business name, you are allowed to change your business name. It does cost in some states. The other thing I was going to say, you could do a business as. So I was just thinking about what I was telling you guys, and my business name for the group home was A Generous Journey LLC. I kept that business name because I do plan on having my group home later on down the line. But anyway, I still needed an LLC. So what I did was I created a doing business as. Some places this may be cheap, some places charge, some are higher than others, but you can definitely do a business as. So if you don't like the business name that you have, or it's not fitting for you, or you change your mind or anything like that, you pay an additional, or sometimes you don't pay, and depending where you are, but you can definitely do a doing business as. So I'm in Illinois and I have to pay every, I think like 4 years or something like that, just to have that doing business as. It's not like my LLC name where I have to renew that every year. So that is something that's different. But that's definitely an option. If for whatever reason you want to change your name, you don't like it, it's not fitting to you, you have those options available to you. But that is all. If this video was helpful, please help me out by giving it a like, subscribe if you have not yet, and don't forget, if you have any questions, put them in the comments section and I will answer them for you. Other than that, we have a Facebook group and the link will be in the description box below. And thank you for tuning in today.